Hello, this is Kathy Cross, and I am sharing my experiences in the 100x Sales Challenge. I am speaking low because right now it's late at night and I am recovering from pneumonia. So the Sales Challenge, I participated in it 3 times. The first time I participated was in November, starting in November, actually it was late October, early November, in 2021. But I don't want this to be a long video, so I want to hit the highlights. The highlights are, in the Sales Challenge, there are 3 components. There's contacts, conversations, and cash. And what I'd like you to do is think about the first line of defense, which is the contact. But let's back it up before then. I'm moving a little faster. There's pre-work that needs to be done. Anytime you're, for me, I'm in sales, but anytime you have an appointment, you do a pre-work, right? It's just the same thing in a sales challenge. In a sales challenge, the pre-work is basically the inner healing. So what I would suggest to have a successful sales challenge is to have inner healing, as many as you can, inner healing sessions. And one of the key components to the inner healing is to find out what your strengths are. What is it that you're good at? What are your weak spots? Just find those sort of things out in your inner healing session. That's the pre-work. The second part of the pre-work is commitment. Make a commitment. A commitment is basically something you decide to do and that you won't let anything keep you from it. Kind of like the Color Purple movie. If you've heard the Color Purple movie, nothing but death will keep me from it. That's what commitment is. You are committed to that number that you have agreed to do. The next part of pre-work is journaling. What I do is I take the Sales Challenge paper and I use that as my journal. So I don't journal as a habit. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But when I do the Sales Challenge successfully, I journal on the Sales Challenge paper. I take my notes there. I write every single contact that I spoke to for that day. And I do my best to not omit anyone, right? And by doing that, I take it with me. So if I have a contact with someone that day, I write their name down. And I write it in a long, for that day, I write, for example, number 1, I write down all the people that I spoke to. A contact is a contact, whether you speak to them, whether you text them, whether you DM them, however you communicate, whether you send a letter, receive a letter, you're sending that contact out, right? That's your contact. The second part of the contact is the heart. I talked about inner healing, but I didn't use the word heart. So think of number 1, contacts, and I would just put parentheses behind it, heart, because I'm going somewhere with this. We got 1 is heart. Well, we have the pre-work, right? Pre-work is your decision, your commitment, and your journaling. So pretty much every part of the successful challenge for me was in 3s. And I don't think that's a coincidence. So there's the pre-work, which comes in 3. There's the contact, which also comes in 3 because you have the inner healing, you have the heart, and you have the actual person that you want to develop a relationship with. That's the contact. So the 3 parts of the contact for me in my successful sales challenge was the heart, the inner healing, and the relationship with that contact. Sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're cold, sometimes they're lukewarm. However you receive them. Second part is conversations. Put next to conversations my And I put mind because you need to have a mindset that that conversation is intentional. It's purposeful. You're not talking just to talk. You're not talking to waste time. You're talking with intention because you've already made a decision. You've already committed. And so you're moving forward with that mindset. That mindset is that renewed mind that I can do it. This is something that I'm capable of. All the things that you need to do. And to the side of that, I put renewed mind. Now, I put renewed mind because I'm reading the Word. I'm getting revelations, kingdom revelations, on what exactly I need to say. Because I don't know what I need to say to this person. I think I do because I know sales and I know the sales language, and I do believe sales is service. However, I don't know what I need to say to this person to, and for lack of a better word, convert, or to get them to understand what it is I'm asking. Because conversations can go around and around and around, but this is intentional. So with the conversations, you want one to think about your renewed mind. You want to think about your mindset, and you also want to think of not what you're going to get out of it, but where are you steering, not steering, where are you directing this conversation? Are you directing it are you directing it toward a goal because you have a goal? Are you directing it toward help because you have something that can help the person? There's various ways the conversation can go, and Pedro has good teaching on the art of conversations, and I would suggest review that. I can't remember where it's at. Maybe it was in another training. And then the last one will be cash. Cash, I put hand. So with hand, right, cash, that's where you get with an open hand, right? And sometimes cash comes in the form of a check. Sometimes cash comes through Venmo. I mean, all those are just vehicles. Those are just tools in which you get it, but you get it through your hand. That's where you're receiving it from. And I put hand, next to hand, I put field of favor. I'm getting it in my hand because I'm doing the work with my hand, possibly. I'm doing the work in my field of favor, areas that people have told me that I'm good at. And so to kind of recap this, and I said I was going to keep this short. So I have heart, that's the start. I have mind, and I have hand. Pedro has contacts, conversations, and cash. They are all connected. With my heart, mind, hand, because if you think of it, it's a cycle. My heart, my mind, my hand. My heart, my mind, my hand. So that's the relationship part, the heart. It's also, what are your motives? Are you doing this with genuine integrity? Are you doing this with kingdom principles? What is your motive? As Pedro says, motives matter. Where are you? What is the source of your heart? And then the mind, in your mind. Are you having those conversations in your mind while they're talking? Are you thinking about what you're going to say before they finish saying? Or are you listening to what is being said so that Holy Spirit can tell you what your response needs to be to activate what it is in them that's going to make them want to either do business with you, to give money to you, whatever it is, however you are going to receive it in your hand because of your field of favor. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I think it's probably time for me to stop. I just wanted to say that I will be on this group a little more often to share because people have asked me for tips, and I think it's beneficial for the entire family to get the benefit of someone who has had some success in sales challenges. So I'll end this with my numbers. I started in November, 2 Novembers ago, right, 2021, and my goal was 10,000. Then I doubled it because I wasn't walking by faith, I was walking by what I knew I could bring in, right? So I doubled it because I asked the Lord, okay, what should I do? Basically, I doubled it because He told me to, because that double number was a faith number, because in November, I wasn't making 25,000. I didn't have any pending sales in my pipeline. So then when I hit the 25, He said, double it again. That's when I got nervous. Literally, that's where faith stepped in. Because the rest was, I was doing it in my own work. Oftentimes, for me, maybe not you, but I have a goal and I want to do it in my own work. There's nothing wrong with doing good work, hard work, but you don't always have to work. Sometimes you need to rest. And right now, I'm in a season of rest. It's not because I want to. It's because my body is saying you got to rest if you want to be whole, if you want to be healthy. And so I'm doing this because I hear people asking me and reaching out, so I want to be able to share this. And I'm not sure if this is actually, well, wow, I see it's 11 minutes already. Okay, so November, I went from 10 to 25 to 50,000. I can't remember the exact amount, but maybe on another, I may come live again and actually show one of my sales challenge sheets so that you can see I did save them. And then the next November, which was last November, there were actually 4 sales challenges. Pedro had them every 6 months because level 2 was going every 6 months, I believe. And it was also part of 100X certification. So I hit my goal. Yay. Celebrate. The next year, I did the sales challenge again, and I wanted to double it because I heard double it before, and I thought, okay, is that all the time? Okay, double it. So doubled it, and my goal was 100,000. I didn't see the 100,000. I saw a sale that was coming that was what I call a whale, that was going to generate maybe 60% of my goal, 60-70% of my goal. But God provided more than enough. I ended up getting a referral out the blue that I had lost that came back. I ended up getting a listing that I had lost the previous year that came back. I ended up double ending a sale from a house that's literally across the street from me, from a past client who happened to see my face on a sign that called me. So I would say it doesn't have to look a certain way. So the next November, which was this past November, I ended up with just over $100,000 in sales. And just to speed this up, the next month, I ended up in December, this past December, ended up, I think it was, I have to really confirm this number. Can't remember if it was this December or if I did October, November. I believe it was December. I'm pretty 95% confident that it was this past December. And I've never, ever made that kind of money in a month in real estate. 2 months in a row. So that's November and December. So I hope this is clear. You can hear, because I have this air thing circulating so I can kind of clean my lungs out. But I wanted to be able to share that because the enemy is attacking my voice, and I'm not going to let him win. So I want you to hear that and take those tools that I just gave you, and I'm going to give you one more that I just learned, that I just executed, which is at the beginning when you do your pre-work, write yourself a check for your next 30-day goal. Write your check to yourself. or your next goal. That's a little bonus that I just picked up listening to like a webinar podcast that I just heard today and yesterday. I've been playing it over. Go write a check to yourself. That's another bonus. So anything that you could pick up to kind of accentuate your momentum in moving forward, but decide, commit, do the pre-work, heart, mind, hand, contact, conversations, cash, inner healing, renewed mind, and filled with favor. All right, I gotta go. That's the end. More tomorrow.